Everyone, good afternoon. It is Sunday afternoon. I think it's about 5:15. We are busy with our very first day of the month of Ramadan, and I thought I have a few minutes to spare in between cooking. So I'm going to try and do that the mom card for you guys, just so that you can see how I did it and the process. So I may have little interruptions in between, but I will try my best to edit the video so that you don't see any of the interruptions. So this is Design Space. I think by now everybody knows what the opening page of Design Space looks like, and it changes from time to time depending on the time of year that we are in. So at the moment we're heading towards Easter, so you will find a lot of the featured images are Easter related. Now let us go to our burger. That is, if you don't know what the burger is, which I didn't know in the very beginning, I was thinking, what is people talking about? What is a burger? Now, I was looking for a real burger. But the burger happens to be these three lines here in the top left hand side of your page. So if you click on the burger, you'll get a drop down menu, and let's show us where's the drop down menu, and there we go, that's the drop down menu. And you have various options here, like if you want to set up a new product, if you want to calibrate your machine, etc. But we want the canvas, so I'm going to click on canvas, and update has been done, and we are back to where I said that's the burger, and we have opened the canvas. So I have created that mom card as a standard card. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going onto our left panel here where you see new templates, blah blah blah, and I require a shape. So I'm going to click on my shapes, and I'm just going to choose the square, and we need to resize the square. So if I resize the square using this little arrow here, so there are different options here. So that is if I want to twist it. This is if I want to resize it. We've got a lock option, and we have an option to make it go away. So let's find it again. Shapes, click on it, and the shape will appear. Now I want to make a rectangle, and if I just pull the resize arrow here, it will resize proportionately, but we want it to resize disproportionately to create a rectangle. So I'm just going to unlock the little lock here. You can do it at the top here as well, and I'm going to put in 10 over there, and I think I want mine about, let's say, 14.3, because that will give me more or less the inner of a standard size card, because the standard size card is about 10.5 by 14.8. Now, in order for us to create that little frame, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the offset function. Now, the offset function is found on the top here, and if we go onto that button and we click on the offset function, you will see that it gives you the option to sorry, I'm just losing my words here, to create an offset or an inset. And in this case I want to create an inset, so I've clicked on that there, and you can see there's an offset around my rectangle. Now if I click away, it will go away. You actually do need to click apply for that to take place. So if you look very carefully, you will see there's a line here, and once you go beyond that line, you then start creating an inset, and I want an inset, not an offset. So I'm going a little bit beyond that line, and I think I'm going to make it 4.98. Let's see. I'm going to go a little bit. I think that one is fine. So I've got it on minus 0.67, and the reason why I'm giving it a fairly broad frame is because I want to make sure that when I cut this, the frame's not going to be too flimsy. So we click apply, and now I can actually take that offset away, and you can see we've got two separate pieces. Now if we select all, I use a Mac, so it's CMD-A or Control-A, I think, on Windows. So now we've selected everything, and because I moved it, I want to realign everything and make sure that it's center. So if you go to the Align tab at the top and you click on Center, it will center that offset right in the middle of your rectangle. Now while we have it all selected, I'm going to go to the bottom right here, and there's an option called Slice. So if we choose the Slice option, let me show you how magically our frame appears. And I'm just going to hide the two other rectangles because we don't need it now. So I'm selecting that one, the dark gray one, and on the right hand side here you'll see eyes on every single, this is your layers tab. So I've got the dark gray one, and if I click on that little eye, it will hide it for me. And so it's nice to hide things, because if you need it later, you can just unhide it again. So if I want that back, I can unhide it and it will reappear. But the beautiful thing about that is, while it's hidden, if I say make it, it will not include those things in the make it option. Right, so we've got our lovely frame. Now we need to get some text going. And I'm just going to use the Cricut Sans, because that's the one I used earlier. So we go to text, we put in the M, and if you click away, your text will be there. Now I need two M's. I know I need two M's. So you can go to your tab here on the far right hand side where you have your ungroup, duplicate and delete, and you can just create another M there. And let me just move this out of the way so we can work with the two M's quickly. And then I created a heart for my mom, and I want to do the same with this one. So all we do is we go back to that shapes option, we choose the heart, and once you click on it, the heart will appear. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the heart. So we can create an offset. Let's do an offset with the heart now instead of an inset, because it has remembered the inset. Let's do an offset with the heart, and then you can see how it differs to the inset. So now I've got 0.353 centimeters as my offset, and once I click apply, you can see that we've got an offset. So the offset is now black. So you can see that there's a difference. And once I click all that, we select everything, we can slice once again. And if I move that out of the way and that out of the way, we now have, and let's just hide these other two hearts quickly. Where's the other one? Oh, there's right in front of me. So we've got this now. And now I want to create the heart in the middle of the two M's. So I'm going to resize that heart ever so slightly so that it's almost the same size as the M's. And then I'm going to bring the one M down. It's still a little bit too big. Let me just make it a bit smaller. And I'll bring the other M down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap them slightly over the heart, and I'm going to select it all, and we go up to the align button, which is right at the top there in the middle, and I'm going to align everything to the top so that they're all in the same line. And then I'm going to select them all once again, and I'm going to say weld. Your mom is now attached to, the M's are now attached to the heart, so they now become one single item. So let's do the same with the mom and put the mom into our frame. Now, in order for the weld to work, everything has to touch each other. I think that is the easiest way for me to explain it to you. So I'm just enlarging that slightly, and I'm doing it proportionately because it will be fine. Let's see, I think that should be it. And we select everything, and now I'm going back to my Align tab because I want to center the mom in the middle of the frame. So there's the option, landscape and portrait, center. So it is now right in the middle of that frame. And while I have it all selected, if I go weld, the mom is now part of the frame. Right, the next step, we now need to find our image. And if you go to images on the left, you will see these many tabs here. So we've got hobbies, food and kitchen, occasion, themes, what's trending, people and places. I just find it easy for me to type into the search bar what I want. So I think I used the term small flowers, and I'm hoping that that will just... Oh, and then let me tell you the other thing. The operation type here, we've got another drop down menu here. And if we go into operation type, we'll get the options where you want cut only, draw only, print then cut. So you can refine your search there. And then you can look for single or multi-layered items. You can look for project types, so you can look for cards, 3D, images, etc. So I'm going to go for cut only files, and I'm just gonna say flowers. Let me just delete the small and say flowers. And I know that rose is here somewhere, so let me find it again. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible so the video is not too long. Now this is, when I saw this rose, I thought, yes, that's what I'm looking for. But I mean, you can probably try and find something else that will work for you. That will be good as well. This one really worked well. There we go. It's this rose that I'm looking for. So when you click on something here, let's just click on the one next to it as well. You can see at the bottom it will select all the items that you click on. Right? You hover over it, and X appears, and you can delete it. Okay, I don't need the other two, so we'll just use that rose. And then the rose will be on our canvas. I'm going to resize it slightly. But now I know I'm going to need more than one rose, so you can either choose a duplicate option here and just click it a few times so you have extra roses on hand. I'm just going to move it to the side. And now we need to do the same thing with these roses so that they will be touching both the M and the side of the frame. And this is where it becomes a little bit tricky, but with a little bit of patience and perseverance it will work. Okay, we were interrupted, but I'm going to edit that out. Right, so let's get back to business. We need for it to touch everything, and let me just unlock this so I can stretch the rose slightly just so that it's touching there. And there, little bit more. I think that will be it. And then this one, I feel like I'm going to put this one on the other side just to balance it out. And I'm going to lower that slightly. There we go. I think I like that one. And now I'm going to do this one. And so I can just resize that a little bit. and just move it a little bit. And I want that to touch that in, so I'm going to try and just shift it so slightly. I'm going to turn it. I think I like that. And I want to duplicate that, because then I can use the same one on this side. Let me just make that a tiny bit smaller. And I'm going to turn this one till I'm happy with, and I'm going to unlock that so I can stretch it a little bit, just so that it fits in this gap here. Let me see. How about I put it here? And I need to make it touch the other rows. I'm just fiddling with it so that when we weld it, that they will all be together. How's that? I think that will work. If I put it at the bottom, what happens? I kind of feel like the bigger ones need to be at the bottom and the smaller ones need to be on the top. So maybe I'll do it like that, and let's make two small ones. So I've got that highlighted. I'll just duplicate it, and we can squeeze one in here. Just make sure that it's touching the big rows. And let's squeeze the other one in there. And I'm actually going to arrange that and send it to the back so that it's under the frame, and do the same with this one. So the arrange button is right at the top here. And now we shall select all and see if the weld works. Did it work? I think it worked. The only thing I'm not happy with is I can see over here there's a lot of thickness there and this side. So let's go to our undo button, and so where was the thickness? Let me just double check it again. I think it was here. So I'm going to move that a little bit. Could have been touching too much. And let's just check if we weld now. That one looks better. The bottom one here is still a little bit funny, so let's undo that. And so all you need to do, if it's giving you that very thick join, is to make sure that it's not overlapping too much. So I'm going to weld again. And now it's too much on the left, you see there? So that's how you need to just play with it to make sure that we got this. I'm going to make that rose a little smaller. That might help us. Let's see. And if we weld now it's too much on that side. Really? You know, when I did it the first time, this didn't happen. I got it right. Let's try now. That looks better. That looks better. Now, if I zoom in here, now at the bottom here, you'll see there's 100%. I'm just going to zoom in so I can show you where all the cuts will be. And what is bugging me is that little cut there. That's going to be a very tiny cut. There's a tiny cut there. I think I might actually push that rose just around it a little bit so we get rid of that small cut there. But other than that, it's just this one here and that one. I think that's bothering me, so let's go back down to 100% and undo that. Yes, undo it. So I want to get rid of that, so I'm just going to turn that slightly, and let's see if we weld now what happens. Yep, we got rid of that one. Now if you want to get rid of any cuts on your image, you select it all, and then on the bottom here there's an option called contour. Now if you hide all your contours, you will be hiding every single cut. So you need to, sorry, it looks like my internet is a bit slow. So I want to find that tiny contour on the flower, which is this one here, and it's just taking some time. The contours will all appear at the bottom on this in this column here. So where is that one that I wanted to hide? Ah, here we go. It is this one here. And I think, you see there's just come up now. I think I managed to get it. Let's just see. If I did find it, it would be grayed out on the side. Yes, you see, there it's grayed out. So I've hidden that one, and we just say okay. And now when it cuts, that tiny little piece there is gone. And I think I'm good with that. I actually think I'm good with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ask our Cricut to make it. And I'm putting my machine on, and we're going to go to the make it option, and I'm going to be using a matte. So I say, because I've got a Maker 3, and then we say continue, and there we go. There's our cut file. So I am going to send this to cut, and I will post a picture of the finished one because it's probably different to the original one that I had. I'm just going to cut it out of cardstock, and I'll post a picture of it for you, and you'll be able to see what this one looks like. I really hope that this is going to be beneficial. Please guys, if you have any questions, I'm not an expert at Design Space. I am like you, I'm learning as I go along, and I'm just very excited to share what I learn as I go along with everyone. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to message me. If I don't know, I will find out for you. There's lots of experts in the field, not only in South Africa, around the world, because Cricut is an international brand, and I will find out for you. Just as a footnote on the video, I just wanted to show you, I actually forgot to contour the other little section. So I'm going to choose everything once again, and then I'm going to the contour option, because that was a really tiny piece that it needed to cut out. So there is an option to remove it, so we may as well do that. And while that's loading, I will try and show you. So it was this one. Okay, just let it load, Shamela. Have some patience. Have some patience. That's one of the things I really need to work on. Okay, we are almost there. I'm going to hold on until it's, there we go. We've got all the cuts there on the side. Let me just find the two I'm looking for, and it's right at the bottom, I think. Yep, it is this one. And you can notice there, let me just take it back, you'll see that that little piece there goes light. It lightens up. And the other one is this one. So I'm done with that, and I can say OK. And now you will see that that little cut there and this little cut here is gone. And I'm happy with that. So now I can say make it. Got to make a 3, so we'll go there, choose a mat, and that is how it's going to cut. So I will do this, and as I said before, I will post a picture of my finished cut so you can see what it looks like. And I hope you guys find this useful. If it is, please do leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to learn along with me, let me know as well, because I love playing with this program, and I will always be posting on things that I have figured out as I go along. So if you want to join me doing that, let me know, and I'm happy to try and show you how I've done it. And that's it from me. Until next time, see you in cyberspace. Bye now.